That's my smoker. It's a Weber 22-inch Smoky Mountain smoker. I've had it for about 4.5 years now, and it has performed very well. If you're thinking about getting one of these smokers, odds are you'll be very, very happy with it. I love it, but there are some problems with it and some great things about it. Watch my whole review and you'll get to hear them all. First of all, let's talk about what's good. It's made out of quality metal. It's got a very good enamel finish. I've been using this thing, I've started outdoors under its cover for more than 4 years. It has yet to rust or fall apart. This is what they call a bullet smoker, in that it's upright. You see a lot of like $50 smokers at Walmart that are made out of really, really, really cheap metal. This thing is made out of some good solid stuff. Also good, comes with these nice stainless steel grates. It's got 2 of them, and they're just fine. And it's got a nice water pan. It's got a nice section down the bottom for all your charcoal. It's a very, very good smoker. Up here, you've got one of your air control ports. You got 1 in the lid and you got 3 in the base. So you have a lot of control over how much air gets into the coals and how much smoke gets out. These matter because to have good smoked meat, you need heat control. You got to keep that heat around 225 degrees. If you get it too cold, you have raw meat. If you get it too hot, all the connective tissue in that meat just goes to heck and you get tough, unpleasant barbecue. Nobody wants that. That being said, there are some weaknesses. First of all, here in these heat tabs, you'll see they've got these little metal stops. They're supposed to keep you from going too far. If you push too hard, which is very easy to do, they just fall right off. And so you have to look really closely to make sure you have it properly closed if you want to put your fire out. Weakness number 2, the thermometer that comes with this smoker, just like the thermometer you get with about any smoker out there, it was garbage. It just had these zones on there, like cold, smoke, too hot. That's all it has, and it's not very accurate. And for the first year or so, I tried using that, and it never worked. Everything in barbecue I had either came out burnt or had to go in the oven for a few hours to actually get cooked. So I just took it off. I replaced it with, a bolt and some washers, and had this little extra hole here. I covered that up with a chunk of metal and some tape. Get rid of it, get an electronic thermometer that gives you a good, accurate reading of how hot it is inside of you. This is a design flaw that affects how weather will deal with your smoker. For some reason, Weber made it so that rain will come right into this smoker if you leave it out on its own. This lip right here is pointed upright, so that the lid goes inside of it. That means that if you leave this out in the rain, water will just come right down this lid and just get shoved into the smoker and pool in the bottom. And then where the middle hits the base, it tucks in again too, so water gets sent right in there. If you don't cover up this smoker, then rainwater will get in here and ruin any charcoal you leave in there. I've learned that the hard way a few times. It does come with a good cover, but a lot of times I've had rainstorms come in right at the end of a smoke, and I didn't have time to cover it up. Plus, if I had covered it up while it was still hot, the cover would have just caught fire. So that's just how it is. But do store this either indoors or under its included plastic cover. The thermometer, I can forgive. The metal parts that can break if you push too hard, I can forgive. But this is the Achilles heel of the Weber Smokey Mountain grill. It's like they had really good engineers work on every other part of this grill, then let the intern handle this little door. This door does not fit properly. It falls off very easily. It doesn't seal worth a darn, and it's a pain in the butt to use. This door is just terrible. It does take some time to get used to your smoker and figure out how to operate it. One of the biggest mistakes I made with this smoker when I first had it, besides using the factory thermometer, was trying to make too many changes too fast. You have to understand that this, the temperature on this thing changes like a battleship steers, very slowly. And one little bit of change here or there won't make much of an effect. You have to make gradual changes and wait and see what happens. So you can keep, you make one little change, you watch what happens with the temperature, and then you make another little change. And you do it very gradually. And when you can do it right, you can keep your temperature nice and steady for several hours, and that's what makes barbecue get nice and tender and delicious and eat up all that, that smoky flavor that you want to have in your meal. The size of this smoker is great too. It's 22.5 inches wide, so I can fit on its 2 levels a dozen slabs of ribs if I use rib racks. My record is 11 because that's the largest order I've gotten from my friends for a party. But yeah, I could do a dozen slabs of baby backs or St. Louis style or spare ribs on this smoker. I've done turkey, I've done pork tenderloin, I've done pulled pork, I've done brisket, I've done brats, I've done all sorts of things. I follow the Kansas City school of barbecue, which is if it walks, we'll smoke it. One thing to warn about is that with this big 22-inch size smoker, the grates are really hard to clean. A lot of dishwashers can't fit them, and so what I have to do is clean them by hand. I learned the hard way that's a great way to make a giant mess in your kitchen, so now I just bring a thing of soapy water out in the yard and I will scrub them in my backyard. That works much, much better. To close, if you're thinking about getting one of these things, it is the best bullet smoker out there, last I checked. If that's changed, let me know in the comments.